So, I can't make a Cyberpunk video. At least, not in any way that I think would bring something new or inventive to the genre of 2077 coverage as a whole. There's so much already out there, covering every square inch of this captivating view into a dystopian nightmare. While I may have my own opinion on some of this content, my feelings on the topic don't make me immune to the desire of making a video in this world. It's such a perfect backdrop, a place with just enough detail to feel like it could exist somewhere, and enough moving parts to feel alive. Throw a few mods in, and you end up with something pretty close to immersive. Instead of making a video talking about hidden locations, or a deep dive about lore and characters, I want to do something different. I want to explore what it would look like to just be another gonk on the streets of Night City, trying to get by however he can in a world specifically designed to take everything from you and leave nothing behind. What he sees, does, and experiences, his life. Since the game gives us a name, we're not going to go through the trouble of trying to establish a different one. So think of this more like a what if V was a different person altogether kind of thing. This is a different look into the world of Cyberpunk. A view that's a little closer to the bottom, and what someone might do when push comes to shove and desperation starts courting opportunity. This is a Night City story. Name's Vincent, but I prefer V. Once upon a time I was a net runner, pretty primo one at that. I used to run with a clan, but after some sour biz, it was best that I leave it behind. I wouldn't get a second chance at walking away, so I took it. Sold what was worth anything, and made the move into Night City. I was handy with a wrench, and an old choom got me a job at a garage outside the city. I had just enough to get a small apartment on the north side of Watson. Truthfully, the place ain't too bad. Totentanz is right around the corner, and while Maelstrom are insane, the Gangoons keep the neighborhood around their money making more or less safe. Not that I don't have any iron, I kept my chrome. You can't get too comfortable in Night City. The last few months were pretty good, all things considered. Kept my rent paid and even started socking some away for a rainy day. A lot of rainy days in this town. Case in point, they raised my rent, and tomorrow I gotta move out. It's one of those goddamn mega buildings. I really didn't want to end up in one. But I didn't have time to piss and moan about it. I had an appointment with a ripper about some maintenance and a shift to work after that. So I hopped on the end cart with the rest of the strap hangers. Now, I had a car, a my. It's basically a mobility scooter with a shell, but with the price of chew these days, it hurts less to take the metro. I missed my stop, staring out the window at the skyscrapers we weave through. Looking at the city from the outside for so long, you can see how big they are, but you can't really feel it until you're hurting your neck staring up at one. The walk to the Ripper ain't so bad. It's right outside the city center, so the view is a little nicer than most. The visit was short and sweet. Some tuning and adjustments to the shock absorbers in my wrists, a must for any ranch working on some of the hunks of crap driving through Night City.
Need some Ripper work done.
And a quick walk to the end cart, which was closed off by badges investigating a crime scene. But no other choice. I summoned my car, light a cigarette, and wait. If nothing else, I should be on time for work. It greets me cheerfully, one of the few things I like about this tiny little death trap. Just wish it had a suspension system. I drive off towards the eastern edge of the city where my garage sits next to this little motel. Perfect spot for the place. Chooms coming and going from NC at all hours, and the motel is a quiet little watering hole where nobody asks too many questions. I stop for a snack. When I finally pull up, I can see a few cars already waiting for me. At least it won't be a boring day. First up was some Aldecaldo ride. Some intense nomads I'd done some biz with back in the day. Their eddies were always on time, and in those days, that's all I cared about. Got the ride fixed up before the next one rolled in. A little Thornton needing a replacement pipe and some timing work.
For me.
Look, I don't like it when someone stares at me.
My boss was his usual motivational self.
Piss off, slacker! Another fucking weasel.
After a few hours, I took a break for lunch at the bar, grabbing a burrito and a beer before having a smoke and admiring just how damn big the landfill is. Even from here, it just takes over the horizon. Some days I wonder what kind of stuff might be in there, but I'm not donk enough to head on over and start rooting around. The last car of the day was a dusty old work van, full of vacuum leaks that all needed replacing. Took a few hours.
Can't you see I'm busy?
But I got it done with enough time for my boss to congratulate me and let me go home early.
Look, go back to where you came from.
After cleaning up the shop a bit, I grabbed another bite before heading home and changing into something more comfortable. If it was going to be my last night here, I wasn't going to spend it sulking. I figured heading to the club, having a few drinks, and maybe even dancing a little will be better than sitting at home and watching my portfolio crash. Man, I used to be so Nova. How things change. City changes too, especially at night. And while it's never a good idea to go down a random alley at any time of the day, it becomes an even worse idea at night. After dealing with a stubborn door, I headed for Totentan's on foot. It's only a few blocks away, and I knew a shortcut through most of it. As someone who grew up outside the city and only came in on biz, I could never really get used to walking the alleys. At best, a few brain potatoes and dwarfers begging for change. At worst, some pissed off gang goons looking for an easy score. Only an idiot would go out at night without some iron, but that don't always even the odds. I'm chipped for net and mechanic work. I never had anything like a Sandy. Best thing I could do is avoid a fight altogether if I could help it. Shit. That's what I get for thinking about it. Some drunk hustle scattered around the alleyway. They don't seem too rowdy, but you can't ever pretend to know. I see a clear path between them and I plow through it, keeping my head down and rounding the corner out onto the street in front of the club. Why do I come here? I stick to the plan. Grab some drinks, dance a little bit, grab a selfie for posterity, and make my way home after a few hours. I avoid the alley this time and make my way upstairs and into the apartment for the last time. I rent the van from Kang Tao that I'm going to need to move my stuff before settling in for the night. The van gets delivered bright and early around 7 in the morning. I get to work, loading my stuff up before I take one last look at the door and get in the van. Deciding to stop for a bite before making my way to the mega building.
It's like they say, you either get tasty or you get quick. Here you get full spread, 2 in 1.
Now look, it's not that I'm not grateful to have a roof over my head. And the price is right and everything, but I'm telling you, June, you can't put a price on fresh air. While Watson ain't exactly fresh air, it's a damn sight better than what you get in a mega building. You ever been in one? They stink. In 100 different ways. And unfortunately for the both of us, they're all very describable. Body odor, exhaust, piss, sweat, fear, desperation, sewage, cigarettes. It's all waiting for you the nanosecond your door slides open and you step into the world outside your unit. The sounds are worse. But for all you might hear out on the streets, that ain't shit compared to what you hear in a mega building at 3 in the morning. And I'm about to move into one. I think on that while eating. One of the few things I was proud of was being able to stay out of one. When I first came to the city, after that biz I mentioned earlier, I had to hide out in one for a little while. You can guess what that was like for me. From what I read, the previous tenant was dragged out by NCPD before the apartment was sealed and put up for rent. So I'd have to clear out that gone stuff before I could even move mine in. If I can, I'm selling it. It's their problem, not mine. Whole day wasted just moving boxes back and forth. Least I can do is make a few eddies for my trouble. It's not all bad though. I'm a little closer to work. The afterlife is practically a space station compared to Totentans. Something to look forward to. There's worse places to be than Little China, even if there's big trouble here every now and then. The unit is a little bigger than my old apartment, so at least there's more room for my cat. Found the little guy down in Kabuki shopping for some chrome, and he took a liking to me. Don't know if he's a real cat or some Biotechnica clone. I'm not keen on finding out, truthfully. I like the mystery, and there's no way in hell I could afford the pet license. A few hours later, and all my stuff is in, and all the old Choom stuff is sold. Turns out people are quick to jump on cheap shit. Who knew? Now to take the van to the drop-off point and ride the train back home. You know, for a rental, this van ain't too bad. Compared to my car, this practically rides like a dream. Actually has a suspension. I'm not compressing my spine on every bump in the road. Same, it's a rental. I wouldn't mind. What? What the fuck just happened? Shit. What's the damage? Ah, shit. The whole side is scraped. The rear is screwed. There go my eddies. Barely made it down the damn street. Yeah, doesn't matter now. It's done, and I'm gonna have to pay for it. I get back on the road, occasionally hearing the sound of the bumper scraping. I don't like this van no more. The drop-off is in Japantown, in a giant parking lot under contract by Kang Tao and overseen by some local Tiger Claws, operated by civilians. Whole town works like this, and sometimes it feels like the best thing you can do for yourself is figure out which gonk in the chain you even are. I parked the van in its spot, and after checking in with the tech,
All good?
start making my way to the end card again. Stop in for a quick shop around at a farmer dock for some meds to help me with the new pain in my neck.
So, I was saying, I take it you're not in the market for vitamin C. Yeah, I think we're well stocked in what you're shopping for. But if anybody in blue asks, you weren't here.
Take a minute to look around. Time used to be I thought I knew where in that gong chain I was. And I thought I was going to be somebody. Maybe not big league, but big enough to retire somewhere preem. Not rich, but rich enough. I made some smart moves. The funny thing about moves, though, is that one dumb one can erase 100 good ones. That's what you get when everything you want is stacked on top of one thing. These streets are filled with washouts who used to be corpo hotshots, and the badges never stop finding the bodies. Rumors say that the waters around the city are filled with them, but you'll never catch me swimming. Who knows what's down there? Who knows what's up there either? An office, sure. Maybe even a nice one. I don't know anything about that life. And the stuff I've heard ain't exactly pretty. I've seen a lot of tombs get zeroed, but I can't imagine getting flatlined by a board of directors. Sounds like a different level of hell to me. I'd sooner take my chances down here on the street, I think. Back on the end cart with the rest of the strap hangers. I need to stop being so damn wishy-washy. It ain't that bad.
Stop. Japantown, south.
I look out over the street and I can't help but start reminiscing over old times. A building I broke into once on a job for some fixer who used to be a media. She needed it kept discreet and someone slipped her my name. There was some data she needed kept on a closed network, and I was someone who can get in and out without causing a scene. I never liked the solo stuff. People getting hurt and killed ain't never been something I look forward to. It's hard enough out here for everyone. I'm not trying to put holes in people unless I have no choice. If I could get the job done without anyone even knowing I was there, so much for the better. At this point I was spending about as much time in the city as out of it. I suppose it was only a matter of time before I ended up there permanently. I wasn't sure what I was looking for. A shard, maybe? If I could get access to their network, even better. A lot of gangoons lurking around, though. Maelstrom. Fuckers are deadly. Decided to disable some cameras, slip in unnoticed. A second story window I couldn't get to, and another set of windows on the second floor on the other side of the building. If I could make my way up to that second story, I could poke around. There was another window on the first floor, but that just led to a supply closet. I could make my way up there with some fancy climbing, but I could see someone in any one of the windows. But I'd have to get rid of the gonk in the office. He'd wake up later with a nasty headache. In the server room, more hustle. Seemed preoccupied. I was about to put her to sleep when I walked right in front of a damn camera. Managed to shut it off in time and put her out. Jack into the server, clap the data. And out the window into the garbage below before I made my way back out to the street and forwarded the deets to my fixer.
Got the data. Thanks, V. Gate closed.
Not bad for a kid from the Badlands. Yeah, Jesus. That was years ago. It was fun while it lasted. But I ain't that guy anymore. You're only young once. And I'm lucky I ever made it out in the first place. The Addies sure were nice, though. Wish I invested even some of them. Could use that scratch right about now. Ah, who am I kidding? So I had to downgrade a little bit. Big deal. I got a job. I got money coming in. I'll turn this around. I've done it before. I can do it again.
You're now at...
Right?